It's the A Game with Angela LaGreca.
Your world, my world, what's the deal? Let's talk it out, see what it makes you feel. Writers, artists, comics, cooks, leaders, thinkers, talking about these books.
Bring your A game.
Bring it on.
Bring your A game.
Oh yeah.
Today's show, Joy Behar talks playwriting, how to leave a party, and yes, Trump, plus tales from TJ Maxx, and how to be the perfect house guest. It's all here on the A Game with Angela.
Super smart, funny, wild, acting out your inner child.
Bring your A game.
Game on.
Bring your A game.
Hey, welcome to the A Game with Angela. I'm excited about today's show. I get to talk to different people all the time, and I do like to listen. Contrary to popular belief, as much as I like to talk, I do love to hear what people have to say and what's on their mind. And my good friend Joy Behar, who I have not seen at all during this pandemic, is my special guest. And I was thinking today about how, years ago when I was her opening act, we would sit in a long car ride in traffic on a Friday or Saturday night, going to Foxwoods or Atlantic City and going, are we there yet? Are we there yet? And now it's like, are we ever gonna go there yet? Who knows? But the next best thing is Zoom, is connecting. I wanna hear what's on your mind. I wanna talk to interesting people who have things to say. I wanna share how we're getting through. I know I've done pandemic pastas, and we're getting through the best way we can. That's the idea behind the A Game. No matter how challenging these times, and let's face it, pandemic, killer hornets, mosquitoes, ticks, tornadoes, pick something. You got to bring your A game. You got to give it your best shot. You got to stay positive. You got to keep going. You have to have hope. You do. Otherwise, what are you going to do? Sit home and shop on Amazon? I just bought my daughter a Barbie dream house, okay? Everybody else apparently during this pandemic purchasing are buying tents, outdoor pools, kayaks, bicycles. I bought a Barbie dream house. She has her own pool, a slide, and her own elevator. I could dream, right? You know what I miss a lot? I miss TJ Maxx. I miss shopping there. I don't know why. I'm not even a shopper, but I like the hunt. I like the mishmash. Here's a picture back from Christmas. My good friend Lisa Tamburini. This is what I got her for Christmas. $10. $10. Perfect. Let's go back in time when we could actually stroll the aisles of TJ Maxx and try that stuff on. Here's a perfect example of a pair of shoes I'd never wear, okay? First of all, who's MK? Mary Kate, Ashley, who are they?
Michael Kors?
Michael Kors?
Maybe, yeah.
But
Or
even so,
Mickey.
Michael Kors isn't wearing them anymore, right?
Correct.
Do you have to put your signature that big on everything? We get it, you made them. And really, this is actually what makes it for me, because for $44, someone's running fast. Hang on to those shoes. Let's see how they look on me. The fact that I even have two matching socks, and I'm sure they were meant to be with socks.
Perfect.
Minnie Mouse, like. Wait. I like actually cozy. Ooh. I take it back, MK.
There you go.
The MK is for my kind of shoe. These flats are good. Oh my God. Yeah, those were the days. Well, coming up, my interview with Joy Behar. And Joy does not know this, but I dug up a video from the vault, the Angela Vault, from Plum TV, which Tracy Mitchell had asked me to do a show called Laugh Out Loud with Angela. And I found an interview I did with Joy at a private Hamptons party, probably over 20-something years ago. And I have to tell you, we don't look any different. We have not aged at all. So that's something else to look forward to, a little sneak peek. And here's Joy. Hi, guys. My special guest today, well, the extra special guest today, Joy Behar, winning comedian, co-host of The View. I've known her so long that I don't even know what to say at this point. But we are here virtually on the A Game. Joy, thanks for joining us. How are you?
Of course. I know you a long time, Angela.
It's too many years, like 30 years.
I think it's about 30 years, yeah.
I know. I used to open for you. And the last time I think I saw you, I was thinking about it, was at LTV, where we're broadcasting the show from, when you did What's Your Story for us. And you talked about that great story about your almost audition for Saturday Night Live, right?
Yeah.
People don't know
And
that.
LTV has been actually very helpful to me because, I write these short plays now. This is my new vocation. And I tried a few out at LTV, and now Guildhall is actually having a whole night of my short plays on Labor Day on Zoom. Yeah.
It's great.
Angela, I can't even, I mean, I know I'm promoting it, but still. We have Annabella Sciorra. We have Dylan McDermott. We have Brenda Vaccaro. We have Stephen Weber. We have Susie Espin. We have Bob Balaban. All these people are going to be participate in this.
Can you believe? Because they got nothing else to do. No.
No, it's true. Oh, I accept that.
You are like the secret playwright, not just of the Hamptons. I mean, I can say it because, you know, I've done all those salon nights in my house. We did them at LTV. We did them in the Village. But you always come up with new stuff. You sit in the back sometimes with your sunglasses. You hide a little bit. People don't know how shy you can be. I do, believe it or not. And honestly, you have a facility for not just writing jokes and performing. And I'm not saying that to kiss your butt. I mean, I think it's amazing. And you have written some hilarious. We had Aida Turturro at LTV, right? When you did that.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about this. Talk about what prompted you to do this. I mean, was it, you know, how did you start, you know, as far as writing, and were you scared doing that? And how does it feel to be doing that now?
I sort of always wanted to do it, but I've been busy. I have had this job hanging on me all these years.
Hey, the view.
Let me tell you something. Right now, it's like a heavy lifting with Trump. It's like every day with Trump, and he's destroying the whole country. And that requires that I watch news all the time. Some people are escaping it by, you know, their regular lives in the pandemic, but I have to watch it. Yeah. And it's horrible sometimes. Every day it's like I'm yelling at it, shut up, you're lying, you know, I'm crazy. So I decided a few years ago that I always wanted to do writing, because I've been writing my whole life, but it was always in a form of stand-up comedy. And then, but then I started thinking, let's put some play together. And I said to somebody, her name is Emma Goldman. She taught a class for 10-minute plays. I said, that's exactly my speed. That's my attention span, 10-minute plays. So I started like that. And then the 10-minute play I wrote became an hour-and-a-half play, which we had a reading of, and supposedly Guild is going to produce it next year if we can get out of this pandemic. And then I started writing the short plays, and I love it. I sit there with the dialogue and I try to make myself laugh.
But
they're all comedies.
They're very funny. Now, but the subject matter, talk about the one that you're doing at Guildhall, because it's got a lot of, you know, Catholic, we're all products of Catholic school on some level, not all, even if you didn't, you know, right? The one with Bernadette, right?
One is called Bernadette and God. And it's about a young 12, 13-year-old girl who defies the nun. Yeah. By saying that the saints these days don't have to hear voices because they have medication, and that makes the nun bananas. And then there's another one where a Jewish couple is in Miami. That's played by Susie Espin and Bob Balaban.
Oh my God!
And they're visited by Lenny Bruce. And let me tell you something interesting. It was hard to cast Lenny Bruce because I asked 3 male comedians and they all said no.
Why?
They said, one of them, I won't give you the names, but one of them said, Lenny Bruce is untouchable, and they wouldn't go near it. So I have an actor doing it and he'll be fine.
I mean, we always have to talk pandemic, but when this first hit versus now, like, besides The View, which I know you went back to, obviously, and you guys are virtual, which must be different because there's no crosstalk. Kind of missed the crosstalk in some ways.
It's hard to do.
It's not easy.
It's hard to do because instead of having a conversation, it's like, okay, Joy, what do you think? And then, and then, okay, Sonny, what do you think?
It's like a polite.
I don't think you can get around it with this format.
No.
Because there was a little bit of a delay, Angela, too. So when I say something, the other one is like, she spoke. It's too weird.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, you're such a lightning rod as a visible person on television every weekday. Come on.
Yeah.
You know that. You're very outspoken. Your voice carries, as you like to say.
My voice carries.
Yeah. And I've known you for a long time. And I'm actually, you know, I mean, as a friend of yours, I will get texts, like I could spend this whole time reading texts that people send me. Why are they sending them to me? Tell Joy Behar, I can't stand this. And then I have other people who say, you better tell that Joy Behar, people who are still for Trump, like, who am I? What am I? Like, I have all this information that I'm supposed to relay to you. I'm like, I'm not going to speak for her right now, you know?
Yeah,
but but I can imagine that has to be hard,
Well, they see you as a conduit to me. I mean, I can understand that. It's like, oh, she's a friend of hers and I can't stand her, or I love her, so let me tell her and then she'll tell her, as if it makes any difference. Listen, I read Twitter. I see how some people can't stand me. And whenever they can't stand me, I look them up, to just see if if I decide to read, I rarely read it. And they're all very, very big Trump supporters. Those are the people who hate me the most. So as for FDR, he was under siege, and he said, by these right-wingers, and he said, I welcome the hate. I don't welcome the hate exactly, but it's okay. You can hate me because you disagree with me. That's fine.
But this country has been divided for a very long time. And with not just this pandemic now and the Black Lives Matter, I mean, it just feels like we're never going to get to any kind of center, even if there's a new administration. That's my concern. And how are we getting back on stage? And how are all these things going to change? I mean, it's one of those things.
A vaccine.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever going to be really back until we have a vaccine. Because we're not sending grandson to school. He's not going to school.
No. You're in the Hamptons, yeah.
Listen, you know what? They let Manafort out of prison because they said it was unsafe for him to be in prison with coronavirus. But the kids, it's okay for the kids to go to school. Please.
Yeah.
Please.
I know. There's a lot we don't know. There's a lot that we're still finding out. But I feel like I try to watch. From the very beginning, I was like, mask on. I really didn't need anybody to tell me that.
Exactly.
I was in the city for most of it, and I have to say, if there were a dozen people on the street, there were 2 wearing masks, and I was one of them from the very beginning, because it just seemed logical to me. But who knows? Have you been getting through this pandemic? I know it was much worse. I mean, April, May, forget it. But like, what was your go-to? I mean, I cooked through coronavirus, and I'm still kind of doing.
There's such a thing as the quarantine 15. Because people are like, shoveling their food in. And the other day I got on the scale and I saw it was creeping up. So now I'm trying to cut back because eventually we're going to be out of this. And we don't want to be twice as big as we went into it. You know what I mean? So you have to pay a little bit of attention to it. But what gets me through is, listen, I'm lucky to be living out in the country for one thing. I have my husband here. My kids are very close by. I Zoom with friends. I talk to friends on the phone. Steve's about to make me a lobster salad because
you got to go with him. I'm telling you.
I mean, he's the best. I think I'm going to nominate for an Emmy because he's been doing all the technical work to set up my studio in this house.
Come on. I'd say if you could marry him again, but you already did. I mean, really.
He's the best. I know. He's so good.
And now who's doing the cooking in the house though? Are you cooking a little bit or what?
I cook a little bit until I get sick of it. And then my son-in-law, who is a physician assistant in the area, by the way, he's in East Hampton, and he's on the front lines. But he gets tested, and he comes over here and cooks great low-cal meals because he knows how to take a piece of tuna and make it fabulous. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how. You know that there are fishermen out here who deliver fish on a regular basis?
Peter, I interviewed Peter Haskell. He comes over to Joneham. Oh, they're great. No, they're door to door. I mean, what do you miss the most, though, in terms of in this pandemic? What have you missed the most? I know what I miss. But
what's yours?
I miss going to TJ Maxx a lot because to me that's just so. I like the randomness of it. I like that in one aisle
the
there could be the hunt of it's like a kind of mishmash tag sale but better. Like there's always there's like bottoms, tops. It's like a gay bar meets you don't really know what it is and then there's some Christmas ornament in August. With tinsel that you have to have for $3. I don't know what it is about that. I don't know who buys for it. The person who.
But it's like a gigantic yard sale. You're right.
Yeah, it's open, but it's not the same. I went in there and I didn't feel that comfortable yet.
No, why not?
Too close. Too many people in there. I know that they did it, but I didn't feel it was worth it at that moment. I'm been very socially distant, very careful, and it's hard and it's really hard. I think that I miss that. I miss my friends. I do these fake hugs. I see family a little bit. We go, I was in the city a lot for it. When I came out to the Hamptons, though, I have to say, I was like, what pandemic? Are you kidding me? Living in Manhattan during the heart of it and going back because I share my daughter. I mean, it was like night and day to me, which is why I know so many people are running out there. I know. Right?
Well, they're running out, but there are also tons of people without masks. They're all over the beaches. It's like, why are you so dumb? Why can't you get smart? You know what I mean? Just get smart and we'll get through this. I got a text from a friend of mine who's in Italy, in Perugia, where he and his husband live now.
Right.
And you should see that they're having dinner, they're having christenings, they're having weddings. They're back to normal. Why? Because the Italian government did a lockdown. That's why.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now they're okay. And the same with Germany and other countries. New Zealand doesn't have any cases. I don't know. You say you have friends who are still Trump supporters. What is it that they like about him now?
They like his fiscal policies. They think that the economy.
Policy? He's been bankrupting everything.
They think the economy is doing better this way. They like less government. They feel there are too many handouts.
The economy is in the toilet. In the toilet.
But the job numbers are still good. I don't know how, but you know, I don't know. That's what, you know.
I'll read it to you.
All right.
You can tell me what they say, but it's not true. It's all his lying. He's a liar. He's a liar.
Well, you know, throwing the pitch out, I don't know what that was about.
Tens of thousands are dead, millions more infected. Economy is in shambles. That's what's going on right now. So I have to stretch my brain to say why. And then today he's telling us that this doctor, this is a good one. There's this doctor that he likes. He was telling
I know it. Yeah.
She says that if you have cysts on your ovaries, it's probably because you were dreaming about demons. Now,
Right.
I have had cysts on my ovaries, and I've had them removed. I don't remember ever dreaming about a demon. Maybe some boyfriend I had years ago, but that's it. This is who he thinks is smart. And Fauci and I, we disagree. He's
Well,
this is what they like.
I think what's going to happen, well, we don't know what's going to happen, obviously, but in the fall, if all the people who feel as strongly as they do get in line and vote, it should be a very interesting election and an outcome. I mean, you know, we have a lot to figure out. I think we're going to have to also figure out the new normal. What is the new normal? You know, whether it's in New York City or how we're going to operate, how we're going to travel, what we're going to do. It's just like an overhaul, right? I mean, it's not going to be, you know, it's not just the presidential election. It's just a way of life that has to change. I don't understand. You know, I think that we need to get serious about it because we, especially in New York, we're such an international place where people come and go. How are we going to thrive if we don't have this under control, you know? And in New York we did, I know, but when people come back, that's what I worry about, when the people come from all these
well, now they're not allowed, certain states are not allowed to come into New York.
No, but how do you really police that?
You try your best, you know, when there are laws in place, people have to follow laws.
Yeah.
No, don't do that. Steve's making me lobster salad and he's going to put all this mayonnaise in. Don't put the mayonnaise. I'll do it.
Okay, I'll go. So now I wanted to ask you something, which I know this is not the summer for house guests, but I've been a guest. I've been a guest here and there, but I just want to know, because I've been a guest here and there at houses, and I feel I'm almost too good of a guest. I do think that. I almost will rebuild your deck because I feel so guilty that I'm taking up one room in your house. But you have very, very definite opinions, right, about how people should be as house guests, and I wanted you to share some of them because I remember over the years, you always made me laugh with some of the things you said.
Well, years ago, when I was a little bit more, I was broke, sort of, you know, it was like I really didn't have any money yet. I used to tell people to bring their own sheets and towels. I thought it was perfectly legitimate.
Yeah, that's the biggest pain. To have to do somebody's sheets.
I did not have a housekeeper. I did my laundry and my own things until I was like 50 something, okay?
Yeah.
So you want to come to my house and I'm not your servant and I'm not washing your towels and your laundry. So people would do that. And a couple of lesbian girls, of course, they're always on top of things. This one couple said to me, you really are smart to do that. And now I'm doing it to all the house people that invite me. Every time people invite them, they would bring their own sheets and things and towels, and they were always invited again. So that's one rule I used to have.
Okay.
So you don't have a housekeeper, number one rule. So right now, nobody's coming into the house. The other thing is, don't stay too late. Don't stay too late. I have been known to do what they call an Irish exit. If I can have a whole house full of people who are talking to each other, I've done my thing, they've eaten, they've had the booze, everything, and then I just slip away and go to my bedroom.
I've seen you do. I've been at a party at your house where we go, where's Joy? And goes, she's watching TV. She's watching TV in the den with the door locked. And we're like, well, where's our host?
I always thought no one noticed, but then Sunny Hassan pointed it out. And so
what
I said,
happened? What is that about? Is it that you just tire of them?
I'm tired.
Is it like it's enough?
I'm not tired of them. I'm tired of just being in a party. Now it's enough. I want to go sit and relax. I don't want to talk anymore.
Even if it's your own party, because you can't leave because you live there.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, if it's somebody else's party, I just say, look, But if
Didn't
it's
you-
your own house, what are you going to do?
Didn't you used to have, when you first got a house in the Hamptons, didn't you used to have a house guest like the 24-hour rule? The 24-hour rule, wasn't it like a clock? You didn't want them to stay, because it's true, because people do overstay. You know, it's nice to have them. It's nice when they bring something, they bring food, they do stuff, they might even cook. And then they leave, and that's the beauty too, right?
Isn't there a store in East Hampton that has a sign that says, guests like fish start to stink after 24 hours? I think
It's true.
I once told that to Barbara Walters because she was overwhelmed with guests. I said, just tell them they can always stay 24 hours. I can't do that. I said, well, then they're going to be stuck with them. That's it.
She always had those good. I like what she used to always say about if somebody didn't have a good-looking baby. Remember?
Oh,
the
yeah.
baby. Yeah. She
Now
say
that's a baby.
right.
Now that's a baby.
That was brilliant.
Brown backhanded compliment.
All right, before we go, so two things. You told me there was a killer meatloaf recipe. I want to share that with our viewers on the A Game. I'm going to post it. Where's that recipe from? It was Tuscan meatloaf. It's very spicy. What is that
It's
about?
from Don Hewitt's wife.
Really?
Don
Well,
Hewitt, who used to run 60 Minutes.
60 Minutes.
I was at an outdoor thing with her the other day. We do go to people's houses, but we sit outside
Okay.
and we bring our own food with us. That's what we do. That's how we do it now.
And your voice carries, which is pandemic perfect, right? We don't
And
need
so
a microphone.
She brought me a Tuscan meatloaf recipe. It's fattening though. It's fattening, but it's delicious. It's so good.
All right,
You want
I'm
me
going
to send it to you?
Yeah, you sent it to me. No, I have it. You sent it.
Oh, you have it already?
Yeah, I'm going to post that. And I want to remind people of your play reading, which is a benefit at Guildhall, right? Tell the cast again.
It's Labor Day. Labor Day.
Is it 2 plays that you're doing?
4.
4. Oh my God.
4 of them. They're only 10 minutes each.
Yeah, but that's okay. That's
And
a
now they want me to do a monologue too. So I wrote a monologue. So maybe I'll be in it too. It's like it just goes on and on and on.
So we'll get the information from Guildhall. We'll put that up at the end, and people can participate and go to it. And I hope that you keep writing. I hope do you see yourself continuing in this vein? I know you've written books. I know you've written obviously jokes.
You know how I like to do the thing. If I have a class, a workshop every week that I know I have to bring something to, otherwise why am I paying this money?
Right.
Or sitting through everybody else's work, you know? So that's how I do it. If I have a gun to my head and
You need
deadline,
a deadline. It really is the truth. If you don't have a deadline, and I mean, even in this pandemic, but like, there's no deadline. It's like this could go on for another year.
It's true.
Right? And you get into
true.
sort of a lulled, I had to start, I got to get a green screen. I got to start Zooming. I got to, but it's like, if I don't have a work deadline, I won't do it creatively. Here's the time, all the time in the world. I mean, didn't Shakespeare write King Lear during a pandemic?
During
what do you have?
some kind of plague.
It's a plague. And what do I have to show for myself? I got to get going.
Know.
It's scary,
true.
right?
Well, you know what? Join a group. There's, they're having writing workshops over here at Sag Harbor at the Bay Street Theater.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Sign up, do that one. Because the guy who's doing it is very good.
Okay, good. I will. There's a lot of, and the thing is, as comedians, how are we gonna? That's the hard thing, is getting that feedback. I mean, I got applause. I have an applause box, and I have.
What's that?
It's a ha-ha. It's a ha-ha button.
Oh, a ha-ha button.
That's all I got. That's all I got. I'm turning into Carrot Top. I got bells, whistles. I mean, what else do you do?
My God.
I did a Zoom with Jessica Kirsten. We were like, who else is in the room? Nobody. I'm like,
She's so funny.
She's great. She's hilarious.
She's a riot.
You got a good podcast. She just did the show. So, all right. Well, hopefully we'll all be back in the same room where it happens eventually. And I'm glad that you're still producing and funny stuff.
Well, I'm glad that you're still producing, because that LTV thing, you're one of those people that takes nothing and makes it into something.
Well, we're doing what we can. We have Drew Barrymore's coming in and renting space, and we got all kinds of people. They're all, lots of interesting people in the Hamptons. We have, anybody who is out there in East Hampton and in the township of East Hampton can do a show there, which is great. It's such an unsung, amazing facility. Where there's that big room, there's a studio, there's a kitchen. I just made my meatballs. Maybe you'll come back and you'll make a recipe, or maybe we'll get Steve to make a little lobster roll in the kitchen there when we feel. No, he won't do it. Okay.
I gotta go eat now. He's calling.
All right, go. All right. Wait, thank you, Joy Behar. Thanks for joining the A Game. We'll see you at Guildhall on Labor Day.
Okay.
Thank
Ciao.
you. I'm Angela LaGreca with Laugh Out Loud with Angela LaGreca. Duh! We're at Artists Against Abuse, which is in Bridgehampton. Very serious, great cause, and the very funny Joy Behar is here to help them out with the auction. Right?
Thank you very much.
And
Yes.
she was just singing Cole Porter, so you
Da,
never know.
da, 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 do it.
We don't know the words.
We don't know the words.
Da, 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 da. Joy Behar, obviously a comedian. She's the great co-host of The View, if you had watched the show. And she barely came here tonight because of the weather. But your hair is holding up beautifully.
Well, I'll tell you something. It's very muggy in the Hamptons.
Yes, it is.
I have friends who never come to the Hamptons, Fran Taylor, because of the weather. And so, and I have a natural tendency to frizz and kink up.
Loves to travel, and this summer you and her very wonderfully distinguished boyfriend of how many years?
My spousal equivalent will be together 24 years.
They're going on a vacation.
This is a lie. I do not like to travel. I despise traveling. But I do it because it's life affirming.
Exactly. It is.
And so I have to do it. And so I save up all my mileage, and I always travel business class. Otherwise, I would never get on a plane.
Very fancy.
Yes.
Cole Porter traveled business class.
Yes, he did. Birds do it. Bees do it.
Even educated
Please do it. Let's do it. Let's fly to Europe.
Okay, so
Yeah, go ahead.
So, do you like
maybe
wine?
Do I like wine? Andrea Bocelli is not really blind.
He's not.
That's something I'll share with the audience because he was looking at my the whole time he was on the show.
Exactly.
So all I can say is the guy is not blind. And if he is blind,
Right.
all I can say is why does he need a gorgeous girlfriend? He has the most gorgeous girlfriend. If homely women cannot get a blind guy, who are they supposed to go out with? And Stevie Wonder also has a gorgeous girlfriend.
See?
So you see what I'm saying? This is like giving lobster to a bulimic.
Well, hold on.
Excuse me, would you like to come in here, sir? Come. Yeah, how are you? How are you, sir?
I'm Conrad.
How do you do, Conrad? Are you single? Are you single?
Tonight I am.
He's single. Ladies and gentlemen,
I live in,
available. JJ's. Birds do it. Bees do it. Even educated, please do it. Let's do it. Let's fall in love.
Thanks for joining us on the A Game with Angela. We've got lots more coming up on future episodes. Please go to our local Television Inc. East Hampton YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all that good stuff. It's the A Game with Angela. Send me your recipes. Send me your thoughts. Thank you.
You know, when you're a house guest, you try to make yourself useful. Hey, what can I do for you? Can I make coffee? Could I, build a deck for you? Or how about just spend 3 or 4 hours putting air into the inflatable lobster? Let's not have a lobster, let's just inflate one. That's how it's going here. I'm in the shower. And the thing is, the fact that the tentacles actually are getting air is the highlight of my day. Not sure about this hair, but those tentacles look great. Happy Saturday, as they say. Is it Saturday? No. What year are we in? Yeah, it's a pandemic lobster. Oh, look. Uh-oh, something's rising. I don't know the next thing I'm going to have to do if I come back here. Maybe I'll change the roof or add an additional room so we can stay quiet on the side of the house. I don't know. Maybe I'll build a doghouse for Allie. But we are getting t-shirts. Where's Allie? Where's Allie? There she is.